Hey everyone, welcome to Keto and Crime and Thought Crime. Today, got a special midweek video for you, another movie review. And the reason I'm covering this one is A, it's controversial, B, it kind of covers a very pressing sociological, socioeconomic trend, topic, for lack of a better term, and C, I tend to be a lover of the obscure movie. So today I'm going to review the new release from Daily Wire, Run, Hide, Fight. Run, Hide, Fight was written by Kyle Rankin and directed by him as well. It premiered in September of 2020 at the Venice Film Festival and stars a group of virtual unknowns, except for one of my favorite character actors of all times, the great Treat Williams. He plays the sheriff in this movie just brilliantly and falls right in with his normal character work of playing the rugged old good guy. Love Treat. Thomas Jane, Rhoda Mitchell, Isabel May, as well as just a whole lot of very talented young actors in this video. But it basically was picked up by the Daily Wire, which has been Shapiro's company, and distributed by him on their app exclusively. So if you want to see this, you're going to have to go to dailywire.com, buy a membership, or find somebody in your life that already has one to watch it. I did buy the Daily Wire app just to see this movie, so I'll keep it for a month or two because I'm not that kind of person. And I like to vary up my news sources. But it was released by them on January 14th, 2021. They did release it on YouTube for free that first day with behind-the-scenes commentary from the director and the distributors, and as well as some other Daily Wire figures. But if you missed that one, you kind of missed your opportunity to see it for free. So I do want to applaud them for that. But this is not going to be a political movie, a political review. I'm just going to talk about the movie. The movie is an action film. It runs about an hour and 49 minutes. It covers the very controversial topic of school shooters from a unique perspective. Now, if you go to Rotten Tomatoes or any of the other sites, you're going to see a very low score for this movie. You're going to see a lot of downvotes. Now, when I read through the reviews, a lot of them were one-sentence reviews, just lambasting it. Somebody said it was basically just a redo of Die Hard as a school shooter movie, but to that person, I say that we redo plot lines in Hollywood all the time. So that shouldn't be your main point. Judge this movie on its merits. So I overall, I think it was a good movie. I usually don't get my haul from Rotten Tomatoes or any of the other, especially not critics. I've disagreed with movie critics many times, and I'm an action movie junkie as well as a independent film junkie. I watch a lot of indie films, foreign and domestic, as well as I even like those Kevin Sorbo, Christian-oriented movies. Some of them are really good, the action-oriented ones, in my opinion. I'm not saying that they're for everybody. I kind of ignore the spiritual aspect of them, but sometimes the action in those are pretty good. I'm kind of a geek in that regard. But this was a good movie. If you like action movie, if you like good acting, this was a good movie. It was basically the story of a school shooting, a hostage situation that takes place in, I'm thinking, an Indiana high school, just because of some of the colleges mentioned. It focuses on mainly a group of seniors that are trapped in the building. One by the name of Zoe turns out to be the hero. And it's great. It covers a lot of topics. For example, mental health. The shooters in this particular movie used a lot of the same tactics as the Columbine shooters, such as trying to distract law enforcement with explosions other places in the town. It worked for them. It did not work for Columbine because luckily they were poor engineers and their bombs didn't go off. But we have kind of a look of what would have happened if that scenario had played out in this movie. And a lot of the shooters obviously had mental health issues going on. But on the flip side, our hero, Zoe, also has mental health issues going on. It really kind of shows us what happens when somebody perhaps with the same kind of illness or tendencies go two different ways. Perhaps it's more of a statement on nature versus nurture. Zoe turned out to be a hero. She was raised one way, whereas the others were raised a different way and they didn't turn out so well. So we also see kind of interaction between Zoe and some of the shooters. One of them has a redemption arc, which I think is excellent to show that there is redemption for anybody that chooses to get on the right path. The diversity in this movie was great. I mean, there were gay characters. There was a female hero that was not done in any Superwoman in your face diversity for the sake of diversity type of way. She was just a badass. She would have been a badass whether she was male or female. In other words, she was a real person. This shows that how a real person might or might not have reacted to this. But she has her demons, as do a lot of the kids in there. There's an overweight character. There is who might possibly be gender fluid. I'm not sure. There's a gay teacher. There's characters of all different creeds and colors, religions in here, and they really don't play that up. It's not like just in your face. They're just people in a high school dealing with crap as it comes down. Of course, we have to talk about gun control. It shows what can happen when a good guy has a gun versus a bad guy with a gun. And it really shows that sometimes that comes down to something as simple as the person holding the weapon and how there might be a compromise out there to take guns away from the bad people that shouldn't have them, as well as those that aren't mentally capable of having them, but still allowing them to be in the hands of those that use them correctly and wisely, just like we do with automobiles. So I think this movie, for all the lambasting I've seen of it online, is a great movie. It's if you like action, I loved it. I watched it with my mother-in-law, who is the least political person I've ever known. She didn't even realize it was distributed by Ben Shapiro. She just said, "This is a great movie." I was on the edge of my seat. I thought it was great. Now, as far as the bad reviews, I think a lot of them are probably very political. Probably people that don't like Ben Shapiro, don't like Daily Wire, are just downvoting it for the sake of downvoting it. So what I say to you is it's worth a watch. If you can get access to it, it's worth a watch. I hope that they put it out for mass streaming later on off the Daily Wire app, just so that more people can see it, because it is worthy of being seen. It handles things in a very neutral way. It's just like an action movie. It's an action movie. It's good people, bad people, and in between people. And it really is very well done, very tasteful. And as I said, even our hero, Zoe, has her own demons that she's struggling with. So, and it just shows how she reacts in a certain situation. The first few scenes of the film, she is portrayed in a way I thought she might actually turn out to be one of the shooters, because just some of the things that were going on in her head and her life. But then she reacted in a totally different way. So it really shows, and also portrays sympathy for some of the shooters. One of them is obviously schizophrenic, that's been led down the wrong path by the leader of their little gang. The leader of the gang obviously was neglected by his parents and didn't have a very good home life, which allowed the mental illness, the narcissism that was within him to boil over. We talk about school bullying. As I said, one of the shooters has a redemption arc, which is truly awesome. And it really shows that, yes, there's good and there's evil in the world, but most of us are just in between that will react differently in different situations and may be able to be redeemed. So, like I said, if you want a really good action movie with good, in my opinion, good character development of all the main characters, some of the background characters not so well developed. I think the gay teacher was a little stereotypical, but then again, I had a gay college professor that acted just like that. Who's to say it's truly a stereotype? But anyway, I thought it was great. I liked it. It's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. If you do decide to venture out and see it, let me know down below what you think. Anyway, this is Keto and Crime with a very non-political review of what has been labeled as a political movie that's really not. Anyway, until next time, Keto and Crime.